Namaste, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar entitled Auric Clearing. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to everyone for showing up for yourselves, showing up for the higher work at hand, and again, I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar, where you will receive an Auric Clearing, and no doubt, hopefully, I'll be able to share with you information that has personally helped me to clear my personal auric field and move me into a place where I'm now able to manifest abundance, joy, peace, and harmony in my life. Okay, so today we're going to concentrate on auric clearing from your energy centers, and I'll be sharing with you a lot of information. So would be nice if you had some water in front of you just to keep yourself hydrated as we go further and basically access the energy signatures available and complete the energy work that we're here to do on this webinar here today. Okay, so my name's Wade, and today, again, we were doing the auric clearing from energy centers, clearing all sorts of auric attachments from your auric field. It's basically the first important step to maintaining peace of mind, emotional and physical health, and an overall state of wellness and joy. Okay, so everything that manifests itself in your life is basically there because it matches your frequency. Okay, so we live in a world that is vibrational. Everything is frequency. Just the frequencies are oscillating at different rates. So if you imagine we live in a giant, amazing frequency bubble, and things in our holographic reality are all resonating at different frequencies. So basically, if you will not take control of your energy field and raise your frequency to an optimal level, then your reality is being created by the collective. So it's being created by the collective consciousness, okay, the collective thoughts of everyone else, which are then basically overlaid onto your own thoughts. Okay, so some of the idea of having your aura clear is so that you can embody your own energetic field, which we'll talk about a bit later. Okay, so the frequency which you vibrate and oscillate is controlled by your auric field, which is controlled by your DNA. So whatever frequency you resonate with, you will attract into your life. Okay, so basically what we're saying here is that the people's times, things, and places that are showing up for you in your personal life have some kind of resonance with the energy that you are personally vibrating. Okay, so the auric clearing session is designed to help you to move past some of the lower frequencies that you have resonating within your energetic field and move you towards a higher frequency where you can then begin to manifest things in your life of a higher vibration. Okay, so the higher your frequency is, the higher opportunities are available for you. You attract better health, new grids of people, places, times, things, and events into your life. And whoever is not resonating with you will usually fall away from your reality. Okay, so very important to maintain high frequency activities in your life, embody a higher frequency so that you can manifest things that are of a high frequency nature. Okay, so what are the consequences of energetic blocks in your auric field? And many of you may resonate with some of these conditions. So the consequences of energetic blocks in your auric field: low energy, feeling drained, being susceptible to energy vampires. Okay, feelings of depression, tiredness, relationship issues where you have conflicting relationships. Okay, so one moment your relationship's going smooth, and the next moment somebody says something, activates an id, which we'll talk about later, and all of a sudden there's conflict and difficulties. Okay, feeling unworthy, undeservedness, no clarity on your life's purpose, unable to speak your truth and influence others. Poverty consciousness, where you're stuck in a wage slave job. Okay, so you're working 9 to 5, very difficult to make progress on the salary that's being provided for that service that you are providing. Okay, low libido, low sexual energy, distorted connection to higher self and personal intuition. Okay, so basically your higher self, again, which we'll talk about a bit later, is the part of yourself which is stationed in the higher dimensions. Okay, so what blocks do you have? Again, auric field could be taken over by auric attachments, karmic imprints inherited from parents. Again, your karmic imprints are energetic signatures that you've inherited from your parents. And basically what happens is, as you go forward in life, if you do not clear these karmic imprints on a quantum level, then you will end up playing out some of the dramas and the karma of your parents. Okay, also J seals, which are death seals, which have been basically implanted within your DNA makeup at a quantum level that prevent us from basically evolving into the godlike beings that we were created to evolve into. And I'll be explaining a bit more about the J seals a bit later on in the webinar. Okay, so here's a self-test. You can ask yourself a few questions to see where you're currently at, just to gauge where you're currently at in your life, and you know how you can move forward. So how do you rate your self-worth out of 10? Do you feel drained and unmotivated to perform tasks in your everyday life? Okay, and you can just get a piece of paper and a pen, and you know, as we go through these questions, just scribble an answer for yourself and write maybe one line, you know, 1.5 to 2 lines of how you feel about each self-test question. Okay, do you feel drained and unmotivated to perform tasks in your everyday life? Do you feel stuck and restricted from moving forward in life? Do you allow others to victimize and diminish you? Do you know what needs to be done but have no energy to do it? Do you have feelings of victimization and fear? Do you have problematic relationships? Does your life repeat the same patterns? Okay, so just write a very short, brief answer for each one of these questions as part of your self-test, self-evaluation, just to see how you're doing with things in your life. Okay, good, great. So let's talk about auric attachments. What specifically are auric attachments? What are you here to clear today? How do they affect us on a quantum level and on a physical level? Okay, so basically different types of auric attachments: ids, occupants, discarnates, portals, and wormholes. Okay, so an id is basically a soul fragment of ourselves, which is still alive and well and affecting us from the past. Okay, these ids or identities embody an attitude, belief, concept, a paradigm, etc., that we identify with. They're basically parts of our past selves or identities. Okay, so these ids are seen on various levels of the auric field, and they correspond with personalities we see in the body. So ids basically spawn the personalities that we show up with every day in everyday life. Okay, the way ids are formed is basically a person has an analogical experience in one of your, which is stored in one of your chakras. This creates a quantum potential that manifests as an id. Okay, ids are found on all levels of our multidimensional anatomy. A quantum potential becomes an id which duplicates and replicates down through the levels to become experiences of emotions, peoples, places, times, things, and events. Okay, so ids are polarized, male and female, and they can have very intense presences within the energetic field. Okay, so basically, ids are created in analogical states of mind. So analogical means basically when time stops. Okay, in an analogical experience, in pain and suffering, for example, we splinter off a fragment of our soul's energy into a potential that manifests as an id. If that pain and suffering becomes personalized, we identify with it, and we have created an id which is stored in our energetic field to show up later as a, place, times, things, people, and places. So basically, the way you would create an id is if you were to have an analogical experience. Basically, so if you imagine yourself in a relationship, you walk in on your partner and you see your partner in bed with someone else, how would you feel? Okay, so you'd be in shock, right? So in that moment of shock and horror, that's when, for the person who's in shock, time stops, you go analogical, you create an energy signature, perhaps an energy signature of being a victim, of distrust. That signature is stored within your energetic field, as a twisted pattern, twisted bit of energy, and then you then move on forward from that time with that id lodged and stored within your energetic field. So that id is now vibrating at a certain frequency. And as you go forward in your life, that frequency is vibrating and attracting to it people, things, times, and places that are similar and vibrate to that frequency. Okay, makes sense, everyone? Okay, so often our ids often attract to us the exact mirror opposite id to us in a relationship. So for example, a man with an unresolved id of not being loved will attract someone, a woman, whose ids prevent her from falling in love. Okay. So other types of auric attachments are occupants. Okay, so an occupant is a soulless thought form that thinks it owns the body and is hindering a person's evolution. Okay, so they can come in at childhood up to age 12 during traumatic event because children are so open to energies, or they can be created by a person in an analogical state of mind. Okay, so here we scan from head to feet for occupants. Okay, so these thought forms can often also show up and have very strong magnetic energy fields, okay, that attract undesirable experiences and undesirable relationships. Okay, so these are our top priority removals, um, because basically the occupants interfere with the natural flow of people, places, times, things, and events. So when they're removed, their influence is also removed, and the person's experience of people, times, things, and events manifests more in accordance with the person's desires. Okay, so more in line with what you're wishing for, what you're hoping to manifest, or what you are manifesting. Right, so these occupants often show up within your chakras, okay, your 7 embodied chakras, which we'll talk about in a short while. Okay, so discarnates. Okay, so one of the secrets that most of the sleeping masses are unaware of is that there are beings around us that you can't see. Okay, and some of these beings are very malicious. They're called discarnates. Okay, beings that have died but haven't gone through the tunnel to the plane of bliss. So they have not crossed over to where they should be and where they should be receiving assistance. Okay, they're stuck in the astral level, the 4th dimension. So what they do is attach to people here, either because of past karmic ties to the person, or simply because they're using that person as energy and siphoning off that person's emotional energy. Okay, so if we emotionally energize fear, rage, anger, grief, disappointment, or frustration, then we tend to attract discarnates that resonate with that energy. And they basically use that energy as their food. Okay, so that's their source of life force energy. Okay. So before and during the sessions, we often need to send discarnates who are on the astral through the tunnel to the plane of bliss. So today, on today's webinar, we'll be scanning you for discarnates, and we'll be sending those discarnates back to where they should be. Okay. Okay, some discarnates are very earthbound. Okay, so they're very earthbound. They're people we've known in the past lives, usually feel they have a right to dominate the person they're attached to through some kind of karmic contract, such as you betrayed me or you abandoned me, so therefore I'm going to get you. Or you said you would be with me forever and never leave me. Okay, or it's a bond of hatred where they're punishing the person that they're hanging around. Okay, so we can actually see the different discarnates take over people's personalities when they are speaking. Okay, that is actually what multiple personality disorder is. Okay, many discarnates attached to a person. Okay, so for example, have you ever said something to your spouse or partner that you didn't know where it came from? Or have you ever just blown up and reacted wildly for no reason? That is when a discarnate has become active in your field. And since most people are constantly emotionally energizing fear and unaccomplished wants, they attract a whole plethora and party of discarnates to their field and then wonder why they can't have a stable relationship, okay, or focus long enough on anything to get anything done or connect to their higher self. Okay, so again, today we'll be scanning your energetic field for discarnates and clearing your aura of discarnates. Okay, portals. Let's talk about portals. They're openings. Portals are basically openings in one or more of your chakras that act as vacuums for other people's adverse thought forms. Okay, we find them in people who wish to heal the pain and suffering of others, consciously or unconsciously, by taking upon themselves other people's burdens. They're undesirable thought forms generated by discordant emotions. Okay, portals have the potential to cause health problems, depression, and energy loss. Right, so during the session, we'll be closing those portals permanently by obtaining subconscious release of the emotional trauma that caused the portal to open. Okay, they're vertical and they're found in the center of the body along the pranic tube that extends from the top of the head right down to the ankles. Wormholes. Okay, so wormholes, if you were clairvoyant and you could see the energetic field that surrounds a person's body, they look like tunnels that connect to a person's light body, okay, to another dimension. These entities are feeding off the person's soul energy through the wormhole. Okay, so yes, there are wormholes that can be active within your energetic field where entities from different dimensions through an energetic tunnel can be feeding off your energy. All right, so again, we'll scan your energetic field here today and basically remove any wormholes. Okay, other peripheral types of cords or auric attachments: mental cords, psychic cords, emotional cords, and sexual cords. Basically, mental cords, thought forms, and attachments to other people. Psychic cords, basically the same thing, however, maybe a little bit stronger, existing on perhaps a wider frequency band where people are actually using their intuition to try to influence you or try to tap into your mental energy. Okay, emotional cords. Basically, again, when you connect to a person, if you have a disagreement with that person, you can often feel these emotional cords sort of bubble up. You know, the person just needs to say a certain phrase of words or even give you a certain look, and you begin to get a bad feeling or a negative emotion come up within your physical body, and that's when you know you have emotional cords. Okay, sexual cords. Basically, anyone who you have had sexual relations with within the last 7 years, you may be corded to that person. Okay, so what you want to make sure is that the cords to that person are not negative cords. Okay, so again, during this auric clearing session, we will be clearing those mental cords, psychic cords, emotional cords, and sexual cords. So the most important thing to remember, if you do not change your frequency, then you will remain stuck in the same repeating patterns and problems as your frequency determines your vibrations and ultimately your reality. Okay, this is simple physics. Okay, so I'll just say that again. The most important thing to remember, if you do not change your frequency, then you will remain stuck in the same repeating patterns and problems as your frequency determines your vibrations and ultimately your reality. Okay, so you want to take steps to make sure you're in the highest vibration at all times and that you are creating a high vibrational reality. Okay, so who are you on a quantum level? You know, what's it all about? What's my makeup? What is this quantum physics all about? Okay, so here you can see that you have 7 embodied chakras, okay, within the physical body, and 8 morphogenic chakras. Oops. Okay, sorry, just bear with me. Okay, great. So you have 7 um, physical chakras and 8 morphogenic chakras, which are stationed within your energetic field. Okay, so the first chakra, D1, base 1, corresponds to survival issues. Okay, so it corresponds to dimension 1 and also corresponds to occupants that can be held within this chakra are survival issues, issues of sexual addictions, gender identification, and of course, fear of death, non-survival, which is the root of all fears. Okay, and those are the occupants that affect this chakra. The second chakra holds issues related to pain and suffering, sacral chakra. Third chakra usually holds power, dominance, control, self-esteem issues, issues of victimization and subjugation and blame. All right, the heart chakra, basically occupants that may show up in this chakra are occupants that maybe hold heartbreak and affects one's ability to cultivate unconditional love or self-love. Okay, occupants in the fifth chakra, D5, the throat area, hold spoken or unspoken issues. Okay, like not telling your truth, not speaking your truth, not standing in your power, not expressing yourself. Okay, or using the power of the word for deception and manipulation. All right, so deceptive people manipulating other people and trying to gain your own way via the spoken voice. Okay, occupants in the sixth chakra hold insanity or obsession of analogical experiences and represent clarity, confusion issues. Okay, so these are the occupants that can be present within the sixth chakra. Within the seventh chakra, God concepts, i.e., God is a tyrant, God is benevolent. So your concepts of God, okay, your concepts of the supreme source, okay, and occupants, you can hold distorted occupants, occupants which distort your energy field within these chakras. Okay, so then we have the 8 morphogenic chakras, which basically are stationed within your energetic field. Okay, so stationed within your energy field. So here you have D8, which is thymus. Okay, D9, thalamus. Okay, D10 galactic, D11 galactic 2, okay, D12, D14 and D15. Okay. Okay, so also on a quantum level, okay, so I'm just aware that perhaps it'd be a good time here just to take a break, a quick 1 minute break, just to get yourself some water, maybe stand up, stretch your legs, and I'll see you back here in 1 minute, okay? And then we'll explain um, the energy time matrix that we all exist in. Okay, so get yourself some water, stretch your legs, toilet break, and I'll see you back here in about 1 minute, maybe 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. Okay, thank you. Okay, so welcome back. Is everyone back? Good. Just type a Y on the text chat if everyone's back. Yeah, ready to go? Okay, great. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to give you some more background on the 15-dimensional time matrix that we all live in. Okay, so this is the 15-dimensional time matrix, and as my personal mentor says, if you understand this, it's like becoming enlightened. Okay, um, because basically you understand how many things truly work and the physics of source. Okay, so the physics of our whole entire makeup. Okay, and the 15-dimensional structure. So the 15 dimensions in our universal structure, these are created from 5 harmonic universes. Okay, so here you have where it says HU1. Okay, HU1, harmonic universe 1, harmonic universe 2, harmonic universe 3, harmonic universe 4, and harmonic universe 5. Okay, so the first dimension, excuse me, also correspond to the colors of the chakras. Okay. Also, dimension 1 corresponds to your first DNA strand, okay, in your base chakra and your base chakra. Okay, D2, the emotional, which is orange. Okay, so if you remember the colors of our chakras, so D1 will be red, D2 will be orange, D3 yellow, D4 green. These colors in the chakras correspond to our 15-dimensional time matrix that we are that we all live in. Okay, so harmonic universe 1. Okay, so at birth, what would happen is 3 strands would be active at birth. Okay, so that means you have access to 3 levels of consciousness, D1, D2, and D3. Okay, the physical, emotional, and mental. Okay, so by natural design of DNA template, what should really happen when the Earth grids are running properly and there are no energetic interferences is that from age 12 to 22, you would naturally activate strands 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so D4, D5, D6 in harmonic universe 2. Okay, so harmonic universe 1 relates to your incarnate identity. This is the physical identity that we all exist in now. Okay, harmonic universe 2, your soul identity, and your oversoul identity is stationed in harmonic universe 3. Your avatar identity, harmonic universe 4, and your rishi identity, harmonic universe 5. Okay, so again, the soul identity is stationed in dimensions 4, 5, and 6. So whatever DNA strands you have activated will determine what level of consciousness you can access. Does that make sense? So when we start to talk about the DNA activations and activating your higher self to embody, or activating your DNA to embody your higher self, this is what we mean. Activating the various dimensions, the various levels of consciousness, so that you can embody those levels of consciousness within your physical body and manifest the godlike avatar identity self that we were designed to evolve into. Okay, so soul identity is stationed in dimensions 4, 5, and 6. So whatever strands you have activated will determine what level of consciousness you access. Okay, so when everything's working by natural design, by ages 22 to 33, you would then activate strands 7, 8, and 9 and embody your oversoul identity. Okay, ages 33 to 44, you would embody your Christos avatar self. Okay, so for most people, they have an angelic DNA template. And at age 44, if everything went well, they could activate your Christos avatar self completely and become a walk-in avatar on Earth. Okay, so they could be also demanifest their body and change into a less dense form as the body changes from a carbon-based matter to silicon-based matter. Okay, this is a natural process that's built into the angelic DNA template that most of us have. Okay, so the angelic human DNA template was created 560 million years ago, and that's what we're focusing on bioregenerating, because the natural DNA process doesn't happen naturally anymore. So some of this work basically is geared towards reactivating these DNA processes that do not happen naturally anymore so that we can embody our higher selves. Okay, so basically what happens now is that you're born with 3 strands activated. At age 12, the 4th strand begins to activate and cannot activate due to an unnatural seal placed on the 4th DNA strand called a zeta seal. Okay, that seal prevents strand 4 from activating and thus causes a chemical buildup in the body. The child goes through weird emotional responses called adolescence, puberty happens, and at that point the body begins to degenerate. Okay, because the DNA activation process is stopped. A person that cannot go through their whole life and not have one spiritual experience. Okay, they may have one or two. They don't know why they're here, what they came here to do, and how to get on with their mission. So what happens is they drop the body. Basically, we die, go to the astral level, and immediately reincarnate back here on the planet um, that can only hold 3 dimensions of frequency. And for thousands of years, this is the process that's been happening. We've been rolling around in dimensions 1, 2, and 3. Okay, but finally, the good news is we now have the frequencies on Earth to finally ascend the Earth. And that's why some of these protocols that we'll be using today have been given. Okay, so basically beyond the avatar self, we have the Rishi self, which is stationed in dimensions 13, 14, and 15. If you have an indigo type 1, type 2, or type 3 template, that means you would have anywhere from 24 to 48 strands and can embody your Rishi self. Okay, so when you embody your Rishi self, it's like being a giant gestalt of consciousness. Okay, like a big glowing sun. In the Bible, they talk about the sons of God that were talking about the Rishis. Okay, they were talking about the Rishis when they were talking about the sons of God, big glowing suns. Okay, so in reality, you're much bigger than you think. You have 15-dimensional anatomy. Chakras exist above your head and below your feet. Okay, so this is just to give you some background of how you exist on a multi-dimensional level within a 15-dimensional time matrix. Okay. Okay, so the good news is you have instant access to your higher, wiser self, which is stationed in dimensions 4 and above. Okay, so through a protocol that was taught to me by my personal mentor, Mr. Toby Alexander, we now have access to your higher, wiser self, which is stationed in dimension 4 and above. Okay, so this is a walk through the higher self connection protocol. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is just get yourself in a comfortable position, preferably with your feet flat on the ground, back straight, and I'd like you to hold your left hand out in a very relaxed position, your palm facing down and fingers pointing away from you. Very relaxed and not touching anything. Just take a nice deep breath and out through your mouth. Nice deep breath in and out through your mouth. And just becoming more and more relaxed with each breath. I'd like you to say out loud, connecting to my higher self. And just become aware of what happens in your left hand. And you can say it again, connecting to my higher self. Connecting to my higher self. And just be aware of what happens in your left hand. So you should begin to feel a tingling in your left hand, in the fingertips of your left hand, and for some of you, in the fingers and the palms of your left hand. Just become very relaxed and just feel the sensation, what's happening in your left hand. Okay, now I'd like you to ask a question to which you already know the answer as no. Okay, so for instance, if your name is not Jack, obviously if your name is Jack, then use another name. So if your name is not Jack, you can say, is my name Jack? And just close your eyes and become aware of what's happening and where the energy is moving in your left hand. Okay, and just stay relaxed. Remember, there's nothing that you're required to do apart from feel the sensation within your left hand. Okay, don't try and force anything, just stay relaxed and feel the sensation in your left hand. Okay, so the energy should be moving towards the palm. If your energy is moving towards the palm, so through your fingertips, towards the palm, and towards your wrist, then this is a no answer. Okay, great. Feel that, everyone? Fantastic. Okay, now I'd like you to ask a question to which you already know the answer is yes. Okay, again, so if you know your name is James, whatever your name is, you can say, is my name Wade? And again, feel in your left hand where the energy is moving. And you can feel if the energy is moving towards or outwards from your fingertips. Okay, so yeah, you should be feeling the energy moving outwards from your fingertips as if a valve had opened from the middle of your palm and energy is moving outwards. Okay, this is a yes answer. When the energy moves outwards, this is a yes answer. Okay, fantastic. Feel that, everyone? Okay, brilliant. Just relax your hand for now. So what is your biggest challenge in life right now? Your biggest challenge is to raise your frequency to embody your higher self. How do we go about doing that? Well, number one, the solution is to clear your energy blockages and raise your frequency. Okay, so how do we do that? We use sacred codes of R, which are a high frequency scalar wave programs. Okay, when these programs interact with other scalar wave programs that are not in resonance with them, they transmute the problem and clear energetic blockages. Okay, the codes of R are copyrighted and being received and created via one of my personal mentors, Yvonne Alexander, co-founder of the School for Conscious Evolution and Dean of the Ascended Masters Training Academy. Brilliant. So what I'd like you to do now is just focus on the code on the screen. And I'd like you to focus on the center of the code. And just allow your breathing to become relaxed as you focus on the center of the code. And take the code into the center of your third eye. Okay, so to the center of your head. Okay, and just imagine your head, okay, is in the center of this code. All right, for some of you, you may see the code vibrating or moving, and this is because it's a living code of consciousness. Okay, so it's a living, breathing code, scalar wave code of consciousness. Okay, so just imagine your head at the center of the code and imagine the code surrounding your auric field. And I'm just going to go ahead and begin the preparation for auric clearing. I salute you from my Christos avatar self to your Christos avatar self. Do I have permission to perform an auric clearing on you in the best way possible and in line with your higher self? And you can just go ahead and answer yes. For those of you who don't wish to receive the auric clearing, you can go ahead and log off. But for those of you who do wish to receive the auric clearing, you can go ahead and say yes. Brilliant. It is commanded in the name of divine love that in this session, all participants here release all auric attachments and all unintended creations in the best way possible for him or her now. Tayajan Tadoe. It is commanded in the name of divine love that the golden DNA activation protector shield orb of R is activated within the energy field of everyone here in the best way possible and in line with his or her higher self now. Taya Gentadoi. Okay, fantastic. Does anyone here have any occupants in their head or any of the chakras within their head? Activate all IDs on the first 3 levels relating to any occupants within the head of everyone here now. Bringing all these IDs, mirror opposite IDs, and merge together with each other and the Christ opposites up the levels. Bringing all necessary Christ opposites to remove the occupant itself, clean up demons, thought forms, soul fragments, personalities of other people, etc. on the first 3 levels, then all levels. Okay, so the energy just went quantum, And for some of you, you may feel a release, you may feel some emotion, you may feel an energetic release in your head or different parts of your body. Okay. Activate all ids that are responsible for the karma between any discarnates that may exist within everybody's hair's head and the person. Whatever ids, discarnate soul fragments are activated right now, bring in all their male and female opposites and merge with each other up the levels. Bring in all necessary Christ opposites to clean up demons, thought forms, soul fragments of other people, personalities, etc. on the first 3 levels, then all levels. Bring in all these ids, mirror opposite ids, and merge together with each other and the Christ opposites up the levels. Okay, activate all ids on the first 3 levels related to any wormholes that may exist within anyone's hair's 7 embodied chakras and 8 morphogenic chakras, and complete auric field. Bring in all these ids, mirror opposite ids, and merge together with each other and the Christ opposites up the levels. Bring in all necessary Christ opposites to close the wormhole itself. Clean up demons, thought forms, soul fragments, personalities of others, etc. on the first 3 levels, then all levels. Does anyone here have any portals? Activate all ids on the first 3 levels related to any portals in the energetic fields and 7 embodied chakras and 8 morphogenic chakras of everyone here now. Bring in all these ids, mirror opposite ids, and merge together with each other and the Christ opposites up the levels. Bring in all necessary Christ opposites to close the portals themselves. Clean up demons, thought forms, soul fragments, personalities of others, etc. on the first 3 levels, then all levels. Okay, fantastic. And the energy just went quantum. So for many of you, again, you should be feeling a release. If you feel any emotion rising to the surface, just allow that emotion to be expressed and released. Okay, so I'd like you again to focus on the code on the center of the screen. And just focus your attention in the center of the code. And I'd like you to take the code into your third eye. Okay, so just imagine this code in the center of your third eye. And then you're going to just imagine the code in all 7 of your chakras simultaneously. Perfect. It is commanded by the laws of the golden liquid realms and alchemical powers that the Auric Ultimate Calibration Frequency Command Ahu code be used to clear all auric attachments and all unintended creations from everyone here, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh chakras, and activate them to their highest frequency potential and original divine function in the best way possible for him or her and in line with his or her higher self now. Tayajan Tadoi. And for those of you who wish to monitor with your left hand, you can feel the energy going quantum when the energy comes in through your fingertips, through your palms, and then you have a turnage from your palms up into your wrist. And for some of you, you may feel the energy going up your arm. That's when we know that the ids have been released on a quantum level. Okay, so they've been released in the higher dimensional realities of yourself. Okay, so again, just focus on the code. It is commanded by the laws of the golden liquid realms and alchemical powers that the Auric Ultimate Calibration Frequency Command Ahu code be used to clear all auric attachments and all unintended creations from everyone here's 8 morphogenic chakras and activate them to their highest frequency potential and original divine function in the best way possible for him or her and in line with his or her higher self now. Tayajan Tadoi. Okay, good. So the energy just went quantum. Okay, just focus on the code. It is commanded by the laws of the golden liquid realms and alchemical powers that the Auric Ultimate Calibration Frequency Command Ahu code be used to clear all occupants and all ids, discarnates, personas, etc. related to them from everyone's here's 7 embodied chakras and 8 morphogenic chakras and activate it to its highest frequency potential and original divine function now. Tayajen Tadoi. Okay, and you can just feel the energy coming in through the fingertips, up into your knuckles, for those of you who are monitoring your left hand. And just moving into the palm of your hand. And what we're looking for here is just a turnage when the energy just turns from the palm of your hand over into your wrist. And the energy just went quantum. We feel that, everyone? Perfect. So again, focus on the code. It is commanded by the laws of the golden liquid realms and alchemical powers that the Auric ultimate calibration frequency command Ahu code be used to close all the portals, wormholes on everyone here in the best way possible for him or her and in line with his or her higher self now. Tayajan Tadoi. Okay, and the energy just went quantum. Okay, just focus on the code. It is commanded by the laws of the golden liquid realms and alchemical powers that the Auric ultimate calibration frequency command Ahu code be used to clear all Auric attachments and all unintended creations from everyone here 8 morphogenic chakras and activate them to their highest frequency potential and original divine function in the best way possible for him or her and in line with his or her higher self now. Tayajan Tadoi. Okay, just monitoring your left hand. Okay, and the energy just went quantum. Okay, focus on the code. It is commanded by the laws of the golden liquid realms and alchemical powers that the Auric ultimate calibration frequency command Ahu code be used to activate everyone here, their pineal gland, pituitary gland, medulla oblongata, and hypothalamus to their highest frequency potential and original divine function in the best way possible for him or her and in line with his or her higher self now. Tayajan Tadoi. Okay, and the energy just went quantum. Just take a deep breath, relax. If you have some water in front of you, drink some water. And you can just imagine the code is infused into the water. Okay, so again, focus on the code. It is commanded by the laws of the golden liquid realms and alchemical powers that the Auric ultimate calibration frequency command Ahu code be used to activate the DNA template in everyone here to its highest frequency potential and original divine function in the best way possible for him or her and in line with his or her higher self now. Tayajen Tadoi. Okay, and just monitor your left hand. Okay, and the energy just went quantum. Okay, just focus on the code. Is there anything else activated that requires to be removed right now? On anyone here? Whatever ids, discarnates, soul fragments are activated right now, bring in all their male and female opposites and merge with each other up the levels. Bring in all necessary Christ opposites to clean up demons, thought forms, soul fragments of other people, personalities, etc. on the first 3 levels, then all levels. Bring in all these ids, mirror opposite ids, and merge together with each other and with the Christ opposites up the levels. It is commanded in the name of divine love that everyone here be infused with new chords, new templates, and new soul programming from his or her higher self in the best way possible for him or her now. Tayajen Tadoi. Okay. Okay, just go ahead and drink some water and just focus on the code as we now move into downloading new soul programming, new templates, new information from your higher self that will assist you to move forward. Okay. It is commanded in the name of divine love that everyone here be infused with new chords. Just focus on the code, sorry. It is commanded in the name of divine love that clients. Okay, so everyone just focus on the code and breathe the code into your third eye. Okay, so just imagine the code at the center of your brain, your third eye. It is commanded in the name of divine love that everyone here be infused with new chords, new templates, and new soul programming from his or her higher self in the best way possible for him or her now. Tayajayin Tadoi. It is commanded that everyone here integrate this session in the best way possible for him or her now and in line with his or her higher self. Tayajayin Tadoi. Okay, so how was that, everyone? Okay, so you can just go ahead and type on the text chat. Okay, amazing, good, great. So just some aftercare. Um, Over the next few weeks, you will be integrating the session, okay, as things are released from your energetic field. You may have some emotional responses to the clearing that you've just participated in today. And you may have some epiphanies, new ideas as you meeting new people, rendezvousing with new times, places and things that will help you move into a higher vibrational reality. So again, remember, everything is about energy. Everything is about frequency and resonance. Okay, so what are the next steps for those of you who wish to activate your divine blueprint and embody even more of their higher self? Okay, so your next steps are to, number one, allow some integration time. This is going to be different for everyone. We all have different energy structures and different energy programming, different soul programming coming in. So you would have cleared a lot of blockages today. So allow some integration time. Then, for those of you who are on the webinar, I will send you an email and let you know how you can move forward to receiving a karmic imprint removal, which is removing karmic imprints from your ancestors, your parents, so that you can again embody more of yourself. The J seal removal, which removes the Zeta seal from your third eye and from various points within your energetic body, and how you can receive a golden DNA activation to embody more of your higher self, which are stationed in dimensions 4 upwards to dimensions 15. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, for attending today's webinar. Please just email me with any questions. My email address is my email address here. Okay, so it's Wade at 0.activation. Wade at 0.activation.com. Feel free to email me with any questions, any feedback, and I'll be happy to respond. So thank you very much for attending this webinar, and namaste, everyone.